information you shared with us today, but I would be anxious to see what results you have after, if you make a visit to SBA and point out some things that might not have been pointed out to them, because they actually don't work with us, they work with our architect. And I'll put in another call with Dave Ferguson to share the information you shared tonight and see if he has any more comments.
Well, I come to the school board. I mean, they may have the ultimate say in Charleston, but they're going to listen to the school board. They're going to listen to the superintendent. I mean, somebody in Charleston don't know what's going on right here, and they're going to take your recommendation. If they didn't trust your judgment, that you wouldn't be here. So I'm sure.
Now, he did mention one thing. He said if for some reason we decided to take the low bid, and he said that the SBA might very well hold the board, Lincoln County Board, accountable for that difference in the fund, which would be, you said, $750,000. They could require? He felt like they could require the Lincoln County Board to pick up that cost.
Well, I promise you get what you pay for. I mean, we spend and we work hard to produce what we produce. We take pride in it. You get what you pay for.
Just because, just one thing, you've given us these figures not just for your information. These are figures we aren't aware of. We didn't know. I don't know about the other board members, but we weren't aware that the project bid had been solved.
And that's what this was for. I wanted to come to you all and present what I'm looking at as
You've educated us on that tonight.
And if you have any questions or my cell phone number's on that, and I have it night and day. Just don't call me at midnight drunk. Sorry about all that. You call me anytime.
Thank you. Thank you.
We've had two individuals to sign in to speak before the board. Virginia Walker.
Virginia Walker. I was coming to concerning a book that our children are mandated to read here at West Hamlin. It's called The Giver, and me and a few parents are feeling that it's inappropriate for our fifth graders to have to read, and we are asking for a temporary injunction to have it banned for right now until the next board meeting, when we can bring you further information on this.
Could you repeat that for me? I didn't, or if she can move closer to the microphone.
Yes.
She's going to come up closer to the microphone.
I'm sorry. We're talking about a book called The Giver, and it's been approved to be read. They have it read through the children of fifth grade classes here, and we don't feel it's appropriate for the children due to some of the language and the violence in the book. And we're asking for a temporary injunction to have it removed from the school until we can present more information to you as a board to make a decision.
Is this just an individual text? Or is it
It's not
textbook
textbook,
or-
it's just a chapter book.
Book.
Yes. It's called The Giver. This is the book here. Yes. This is the book. And some of the information that it presents is not what we feel is great enough for our children to be reading. It talks about killing and euthanizing unwanted people in their community, and about how if you're old and you can't do a job no more, they want to release you from the community. And in the beginning of the book, it talks about how when you release them, everybody just assumes they're going to another community. Where in the ending of the book, it describes in details how releasing actually takes effect, and that's by euthanization. And how this boy witnesses his father euthanizing babies, and it goes into detail about how he does it. And I just, with children in here, I don't want to say that out loud, is how he describes how it really goes into details of euthanizing babies and throwing them in a garbage chute, and how the old is being bathed by the young kids at 11 years old. They talk about how this little boy is bathing these older ladies and how he enjoys it, and we just don't feel it's appropriate for our fifth graders to be reading.
It's for the man, is the premise of the book is that that's acceptable behavior?
Yes, that's what they go by. They're in like a controlled community is what they call it, and in a controlled community, that's what they do. They keep it, if you don't look a certain way or whatever, from the age of 1 when you're born, if you don't look a certain way to the age of 1, or you don't act a certain way, or they don't think they can find a job for you, they take control and release you, as they say. And in the releasing process, at age 1, you get euthanized. And if you get too old to do your job in this community, they release you, which is euthanization. And at one point in the book, it talks about this 11-year-old girl who was chosen to be an apprentice of this giver. She was chosen to do this job. Well, she couldn't handle it, so it talks about how she euthanized herself by putting the needle in her own arm.
Is this a required reading?
It is required for some of the 5th graders. I was unable to find out who requires it to be read, but the teacher assured me that she enjoyed the book and that it was a good book, and I'm not questioning her authorities or her education levels, but in my opinion and some of the other parents' opinion, we don't feel it's appropriate for our children to read. I mean, we don't tell you what to read, or we don't tell them what they can and cannot read, but our children, we have the right to decide what we feel as our values and our beliefs into what they should be able to read. It's the way we bring them up.
Was your child given the opportunity to be excluded from the reading?
After I had confronted them, my child was, I was asked to have him removed from the classroom, which he was. They did consolidate my wishes for that. However, they was told by other parents who come in and concerned, was told, well, if they don't read it now, they're going to read it eventually because they have to read it until they get out of 5th grade.
Mr. Polly, I'd like to address that. If that has been said, it has not been said by the principal. I did remove her child immediately at her request and did take care of that concern. But no other parent has approached me and asked me to remove their child from that reading. Now, I'm not saying that they didn't approach the teacher, but I have not been approached by another parent asking for their child to have another opportunity to read an alternative novel.
I have another parent here with me, Jamie Sloan, or I don't remember, Sperry, she's got married on, who has also requested, and I have a few other parents who had requested to have their child removed. Now, whether they spoke to Mr. King individually, I really don't know, but one of the parents, one of her concerns is her son has ADHD, ADD, and he is also very unstable because he's tried to commit suicide once before, and this is a book he is having to read. He's been asked to be removed from it, and she hasn't done so. And it's just, I mean, if he's already threatened to commit suicide and tried, and then read a book which was deemed a suicide book by many people, and it's been banned from many middle schools across America, in Florida, in Colorado, in Ohio, Texas, it's been